Okay, so I have removed the boiling water from the carrots and they are in a strainer here. We're then going to get a pan and we are going to turn it on a medium temperature. We're going to take a half of a cup of brown sugar. I had a little excess in there just from the bag because it was ending. But our organic brown sugar, we're going to put that in the pan and just spread it out evenly. And we are going to add a couple splashes or a drizzle of some water to make a sauce for our carrots. So this is going to melt down and basically deglaze in the pan, and then we are going to add our carrots into that. But we also need to take cinnamon once this is in a thinner glaze, and we're going to add some cinnamon to that then. So I will show you that in just a minute. So this is what our sauce looks like, our brown sugar sauce for our carrots. You do not want it to be overly runny or watery. You want to make sure that it has a thicker consistency, and as it stays in the pan, it will thicken up even more. So we are now going to take our ground cinnamon and we are going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon right into our brown sugar mixture. And now we can add our steamed carrots that we did right into the pan there. And we're just going to get the carrots fully glazed. Maybe if I did this with my right hand, it would be a little better. And we're just going to move that glaze mixture around the carrots and get the lid back on it. So put a lid on there. That sauce is going to thicken up and we're going to check on that. Move this down to a lower heat though, because we do not want the sauce to burn. Our rice has about 5 more minutes left on it, so we're going to just take a little sample here to see where that's at and check that out, because that will be coming off the burner shortly as well. Rice is looking good, tasting pretty good. At this point, we're going to take just a little less than a tablespoon of unsalted butter, and we're going to add that into the rice just so we're not having it stick to the bottom of our pot here. And we can turn the heat off on that now and put the lid on and remove it completely from the heat and onto a hot pad. Moving right along to our broccoli here. It is fork tender as well, but not breaking the vegetable. So we're going to get this into another bowl and we're going to add our unsalted butter to this as well. Right there's our broccoli. We pulled that out, got it in another bowl. We're going to take, again, approximately a teaspoon of unsalted butter, and we're going to add that on to our broccoli mixture. And we did 2 cracks of pink Himalayan, and again, black pepper right onto our broccoli mixture. Carrots are still going here. Get your next vegetable, the sweet peas, right into the steamer and let that do its thing. Put the lid on that. Wrong size lid. Where's my correct lid? Right there. Get our lid on there and let those peas cook down now as well. All right, our veal patties are done, so we can shut off the oven and we can get these guys pulled out. Checking in on our carrots, you can see that our glaze on the bottom is coming to a boil. So we are going to shut that off, and we're going to just take a spatula here and move the carrots around. You can see that the sauce has thinned out. Once we leave this sit, it's going to thicken up. So we're going to just let them rest now in the pan, and they are done also. Okay, so our veal patties are done. We have our rice mixture here, that's done. Broccoli's done. Our chicken is done. I just want to show you, we cut into it to show you after it has rested what it looks like. It's cooked great, nice and tender, not overcooked and not dry. And then we also have our pork here as well, which I have cut into for you to take a look at that. We also have our carrots, which I said are complete. Our peas are almost done as well, so we're gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, so we are moving on to cook our orange ruffy next. We want to turn on our burner to a medium temperature. We want that to warm up first before we throw our fillets on there because we want to get a nice sear on them. So we put some olive oil in the pan, and once this gets to a warmer temperature to where we can get a good sear, we're going to add our fillets. Okay, so here our fillet of orange ruffy goes into our pan. As I said, it's going to crackle because it is at a good temperature to add the fish. Just be careful you don't burn yourself. The 3 spices that we're going to use on our orange ruffy fish is the soul food seasoning here, specifically for seafood, the pink Himalayan sea salt, and our black pepper. So, I'm going to get some of this soul food seasoning onto the fish. I'm going to take a little sprinkle or 2 of our pink Himalayan salt and our black pepper. And fish does not take long to cook at all. For anybody that is not familiar working with fish, you just basically want to get a nice sear on either side. And actually that one needs to go back over. My pan sounded hotter than what it was, so we're going to let that on there for another 2 minutes until we get a sear, and then I'll show you what that looks like, and we'll flip it over to do the other side. In the meantime, our peas are done as well. We're going to transfer that into a bowl, add our unsalted butter, some pepper, and pink Himalayan sea salt to this as well. Okay, so we are going to flip over our fish. And you can see that I have a light sear on here. And we're going to check back when the other side is complete. So all in all, we are roughly cooking our fish no more than 10 minutes because we don't want the fish to be dried out. We want the fish to stay nice and moist. Adding a teaspoon of unsalted butter to our peas. A little sprinkle of the pink Himalayan sea salt and our black pepper. And now our peas are done. So we have 3 vegetables, all in all, that are complete. We have our peas, we have our broccoli, and we have our carrots that are on the stove. So we are checking the other side of our fish, and I'm actually going to leave them flipped on this side because this is the sear that I'm looking for. My pan wasn't turned up. I actually had the wrong nozzle on, so I apologize. Or the wrong knob here, nozzle, knob. So our fish is looking good on both sides. We're going to turn the heat off of those and let that go as well. So here we go. I have already put our protein sources in some of the meal prepping containers. We're just going to go ahead and add our vegetables and some rice, and once again, just show you what this looks like. You can pick and choose what vegetables you would like to have in each container with each protein source. So we're just adding the vegetables in evenly, adding some rice for the chicken, and rice for our veal patty. So we then can take the carrots and put some carrots in with this veal maybe for something different. Put some carrots in with our chicken. And put some carrots in with our pork. So as you can see here, this is what our meals are starting to look like as they're all coming together. We got the orange ruffy with some peas. We got some pork with rice and broccoli. We got some pork with just carrots. We have our grilled boneless skinless chicken breast with some brown rice and broccoli. We have a veal patty with just carrots. We have a veal patty with some brown rice and peas. So as you can see, we can do all sorts of different things. And we have a few more meals to put together. So I'm gonna show you what they look like as well. Moving right along, everybody. So we are going to start making our sweet potatoes right here. We are going to peel them and we are going to cut them into circular discs. And we are going to bring them into our pot of boiling water. So we're gonna turn this on, get this going, and then we are going to start working on peeling and slicing the sweet potatoes. So as you can see here, I have all 4 of my sweet potatoes peeled and sliced into circular disc. So I'm just going to walk them over to the pot of water here and get them in. Dropped one in the back there. So we have those in here. We're going to get a lid on this and let them do their thing. Again, we want them to be fork tender, but we don't want them to break apart because we're going to do a sauce for these exactly the same way we did the sauce for our carrots. Also, don't forget to add just a splash of your olive oil into the pot of sweet potatoes as well. Okay, so while our sweet potatoes are doing their thing back here and getting ready, we're gonna move on to a couple other things at the same time. You can see here that I poured my meatballs into a pot, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take my spaghetti sauce of choice and I'm going to cover them with the sauce. And I'm gonna put the lid on, turn the burner on to a medium to medium high until that sauce starts to boil, and then we're going to turn that down. But the meatballs, that's it. You just get the meatballs in there and put the sauce on, and they're going to do their thing and cook by themselves. So we're going to take our 2 packs of hamburger meat and we're going to put that in the pan. And we are going to just evenly distribute that in the pan. We're going to take 3/4 of a whole onion and we're going to dice that up and get that on top. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we have our diced up onions. They're going to go right on top of our hamburger. Or I should say our diced up onion, 3/4 of our onion. And that's in there. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take our pink Himalayan sea salt. We are going to take our black pepper. And this time around, I'm going to season the hamburger with the brown sugar bourbon by McCormick. Okay, so as I said, I took our 3 spices here, the black pepper, salt, and the brown sugar bourbon, and I put that on top of the onion and hamburger mixture. Now, going back to that orange that I showed you in the beginning of the video, we're going to take another handheld tool that I got at Bed Bath & Beyond, and we're going to put our citrus in here. And we're going to fold it over, and we're going to squeeze that orange right over top of our hamburger mixture.